Welcome to the Movie Program, the show in which we take you behind the scene in the movie business. I'm your host, Henrik Wynn. Last week, our female French psychologist examined male aggression in stories featuring Winnie the Pooh and asked why masturbation has been so painfully absent from children's television. This week, we will tell you how scripts are written and follow the creative process from start to finish.
As long as it's one. I went to go find one yesterday, but I wasn't able to come up with tomorrow, I think. Oh, that's great.
Let us take the hypothetical example of a transvestite Hungarian biker who lives in a motorhome near San Diego. He quit his executive job in Europe and relocated to the US to make it big. How this happens is of no consequence whatsoever. In his spare time from his new job as McDonald's, he pens a script based on an old but recently reappraised novel and starts stalking various movie producers. It so happens that he avoids the restraining order and corners one of them in a cafe. Just before his green card expires, the newly converted Scientologist wins the jackpot. The script is bought and suddenly he is also blessed by Tom Cruise. The script, however, ends up in a stylish mahogany drawer and gathers dust. After the divorce of his 7th teenage wife, the first producer rediscovers the script in his new Love's Barbie collection and is about to bring it to the local flea market when his old brother-in-law, a fellow movie producer whom he dislikes intensely, is persuaded to buy it. Being a closeted man who uses his brother-in-law's sister as a beard, the new producer takes offense to the heterotypical noir protagonist and decides to replace the masculine and clearly butch hero with a gorgeously robed gumshoe resembling Julie Andrews. Into the drawer the script goes, and more time passes. Unfortunately, it is an illusion brought on by excessive makeup, cosmetic surgery and unnatural hair pieces that gay men do not die of old age. In the present case, believe it or not, it was true. The demise of this particular producer was brought about by an cocaine overdose at a local bathhouse. His son describes his father's pathetic death scene in a tell-all. On Oprah, he recounts the tear-jerking story how this made him lose faith in his late father's judgment, and why he then sold all his father's script to a genius who applied science to literary analysis, a guru of digital humanities, a man trying to link Hollywood with transhumanism, cryogenetics, and Silicon Valley. The script is analyzed using revolutionary AI and tailored algorithm. Various story elements are tested against focus groups in order to measure potential revenue models. It may be that the optimal setting for the story is not some Vegas casino, even if this was the intention of some Pulitzer Prize-winning alcoholic. Perhaps a space station would generate more income, and perhaps the Julie Andrews character should not have a car, but instead an elephant. Of course, this elephant must be created using CGI, and then PETA and certain special effects companies must be contacted to ensure realism and an ethical and accurate portrayal of the species and ascertain the per-second cost of each animal sequence. Could production perhaps be outsourced to Colombia if the villain of the story resembled Pablo Escobar? Is it possible to exploit this for marketing, or could an appeal to controversy, perhaps involving sexual innuendo and Martians, do the trick? In view of many real, imaginary and self-inflicted expenses, the Wizard of Silicon Valley was relieved to discover that the NIH offered a huge grant to any movie producer who might help disseminate knowledge of venereal diseases. Incorporating such information into the dialogue by means of said AI system and introducing tasteful cameos of Musk and Trump and their logos might offset the CGI cost and widen target audiences. Any naturalized citizen of the United States must avoid contact with judges, even on public transport. Therefore, the literary estate must be approached, in some alley if need be. This hypothetical adaptation of the literary canon came to a permanent halt when lightly dressed invitations to several beach houses failed to prevent a top publishing lawyer from knocking at several doors, rehashing the often repeated truism: the similarity between Hollywood scripts and venereal diseases will be painfully obvious to all lovers of good fiction. They are passed from person to person socially, mutate, and are not really wanted by anyone. Having one in your drawers, however, is considered proof of virility. The project was immediately scrapped, the name of the original author deleted, and the script sold in an undisclosed bankruptcy settlement to Marvel, who, according to inside sources online, will rewrite it as an episode of Dr. Weird 5 years from now, when a not-named Pulitzer Prize story finally passes into the public domain. Well, that was all we had time for this week. Join us next week when we will tell you how bleaching your teeth can increase your credibility as a character actor, and why a Brazilian butt lift has proven such a good investment for so many of Hollywood's leading men.